wouldn't be too. Oh. Hello, welcome to my 39th app lab where I'm going to talk about Shoot, Video Pencil, Beat Sheet and CueCam. There's a private Zoom over here. There is a public YouTube stream which is just my feed, but it's possible someone may ask a question. I may just bring them in. I'm sort of glancing down here at a little grid of people on a Zoom call. That's after hours. I seem to be sitting down. I'm going to stand up. Now, I think my audio should be better and my video should be better this week. So like this is huge. So let's get into it. So for a couple of things that as I've been refining CueCam, there's a couple of things that also will feed into Beat Sheet, which is my Mac app that lets you like plan out a live stream and control eCam and do different things. So we're going to talk about bullet points. I see a question. Audio sounds good. Thanks, John. We have a confirmation that audio is okay. So so I'm going to talk about bullet points and I'm going to talk about backgrounds. So first thing, so you may know that bullet points in CueCam do require a little bit of secret knowledge. So I'm just going to go into demo mode on Beat Sheet Studio and show you. Now, usually if I wanted to add a bullet point, I would say bullet 1, bullet 2, and that would, let's just put those onto a new slide, shall we? So if we go to the next slide, you're going to see bullet 1, bullet 2. But what I've done now is I have just in this little pop-up box here, you can delete and add bullet points like this. And you can say, hello, this is my note. So all this does is just sort of you don't have to know the secret code. There's also a little text. There's a little editing interface there as well. The next thing we'll talk about is backgrounds and overlays. So while I have this open, there is now, you can see, there's your main image and then there's a background image. So, and you may, and so, am I talking about, and that also means that has unlocked some new layouts as well. So now instead of bottom, lower third, left, right, middle, or full screen, it's now lower, left, right, middle, or top. And you can have a background image, which will be full screen, or you can have a separate image. So if I'm just going to sort of take a screenshot and drag that in. So now if I drag in a background image, and I want to sort of see that, let's see what this looks like. So now you see we have this background image on the slide and we can change the layout of the slide. The reason you're not seeing it update on the main screen is because I completely rewrote how the slides are rendered, and the editing thing isn't quite sort of coming through. But if you see, we've got this new overlay system, and we can have the bullets and titles on any background, and you can also have say you wanted to also, this is going to be weird, but you can also then have the have a small picture as well. And I think we have just, I've just hit something. So I'm just going to bear with me. I am still here. I am still here. Right, we are. While I have ironed out a lot of bugs, that I am dog fooding my own software, as they say, and So what are we talking about? We're talking about bullet editing. We're talking about backgrounds, but so that's some stuff. I've sort of refined that UX, that user experience. Maybe still a couple of things on stability, as you can see there. That's the danger of tech demos. So moving on, we can talk about CueCam. And just to say, those features, I'm building them in CueCam, but once I've shipped CueCam, I will get beat sheet building again, and a lot of these slide features will be back into beat sheet as well. But for me at the moment, my priority is getting the new app out, but then a lot of that code is shared, so it's just a case of like making sure that I'm sort of building beat sheet as well. So what's new in CueCam? You may notice I am not hitching. Well, I'm not glitching, and I'm not hitching. So the glitches are like frames were literally coming in out of order, and it was very unpredictable when that would happen. And the same thing was happening in Video Pencil Camera sometimes, and it was sort of like if you ran it for a bit, it would kind of recover and it would be okay. Different devices would have it to different extents. I wasn't seeing it on my systems, but other people were seeing it. It was like very weird to debug. So that was one major problem, and that was quite sporadic whether that would happen. The other thing that was happening was video hitches, where it would sort of stop, like frames were getting repeated. So it just like had this general feeling that I wasn't really quite a smoothly coming in human. I was sort of like losing frames. And so I did a lot of work. I sort of want to maybe show you, I'll maybe show you some debugging stuff, but what I can show, maybe I'll just like keep this brief and just show you, I'll enable my debugging overlays. So if I debug the camera extension, you can see some of the stuff that I did to in order to sort of like figure out what's going on. So up here is like this is like my backlog of frames that have come into the camera. Some have come in a bit faster than I want to show them, so I sort of keep up the 3 images in a buffer, and then I just show the next one, so that it's always going to be a smooth transition, instead of like what it was doing before, it's like jumping. It was just sort of showing the latest one. So that flicker that you can see of those images is like, that's just sort of the natural course of the camera coming in a bit unevenly, but now I'm mitigating all of that, and then all the stuff down here, you can see like I'm timestamping and like, I'm writing a timestamp on every single thing that's going on, just to sort of just to try and understand the pipeline. So, but what that means is, there's a lot of stages that you've got, like, I'm taking like frames from like a webcam, I'm taking from Hey guys, bear with me while I just quickly restart, because this is something I'm literally working on at the moment, is the audio on this. I really hope it wasn't for too long. Thanks for mentioning that, Terry. I'm just going to like jump off. I'm just going to just restart CueCam. I am still here, aren't I? So you should still be able to hear me. And then in a moment, I will come back onto the CueCam audio, and hopefully we're good. You see, is this running? Yeah, we should be back. Okay, where's CueCam? CueCam. Thanks for yeah, I'm so grateful when people tell me that I'm inaudible. Okay, CueCam audio should be okay. And I see, yes, we see a couple. Yes. Cool. And hey everyone, Donald, hey Quincy. I'm so grateful, like honestly, like the number of times I've gone live and like I've had no audio. Now, this is yeah, this is like audio is the thing that is getting all of the love over the next few days. So I'm excited to be able to but I just, it's funny, it's like I just really hate not using CueCam for anything, so I just like, I would rather risk the audio going dead than sort of have to live with boring old normal audio. Anyway, the last thing I'm going to mention here, yeah, so the Ecamm live story, and like I think, I don't know how I do this, I want to just sort of cover Ecamm OBS Mimo Live. Just to say, like, if you do need to go to the next level, I haven't quite figured out. I probably put the icons or something. Maybe the picture is what explains it. But just say, like, this is deeply integrated with that software. Like, if you just want a scene for your interview mode, if you want a scene for this and that and the other, like, you can still do that. This is just giving you, like, the stuff that you're most likely to need. And then you can like expand out on that if you really have specific needs. That's fine. And you'll actually be able to automatically switch scenes. You'll automatically do this, that, and the other. And then the other thing that I don't know quite where this lives, but being able to set this, you see, I just put a placeholder here. Oh, I'm not showing the freaking desktop. Send it. Oh, is that what broke the audio last time? Maybe that I shared the desktop. So many people talking. Lots of people. Hey Jeff, long time no see. I'm really glad you could join. I'm getting so close to this. We're getting so close to being able to ship this after some stumbles. So I've just been going through all the stuff. I'm just gonna because I've been hearing these little alerts in my ears. I'm just gonna sort of put them up on the thing. So I see just Jeff saying, hi, glad to be joining live, and a nice thank you. Now we can see what you're talking about. Yes, sorry about that. I restarted, didn't I? So yeah, Ecamm Live section may be like it's just like, it's awkward saying streaming software. It's awkward using like a general term. So I think like we cover that with icons, don't we? Let me know am I coming in a bit hot, because I keep seeing like orange. So I might actually just pull myself down. I don't know if that's like clipping at all. I've been riding the orange a bit today, and I'm wondering if that is the best idea. I think I might just like pull myself down a notch. I'm going to ignore the chat messages for a moment and just mention, like, this needs to go in here, like the fact that you can not only do these amazing, set up these presentations, but you can send this to someone else, and it's going to have the video files, it's going to have the images, it's all going to be in there, and they can just like run with it. And it's going to be smart about like, oh, they've got a different camera plugged in. It's going to help you just sort of help them get set up. So that's something that needs to be, I mean, maybe this needs its own section, And then something that I was just, let me just check that it's not audio problems that people are saying. Okay, cool. I sort of drew this little thing, like our mission, the sort of like screen share model of presenting online. Can you see my screen? Or that you in the frame. I just wanted to show this. This is how we change the world. And just say this, PowerPoint and Keynote were built for projectors. CueCam Presenter is made for your webcam. So say no to busy slides, awkward screen shares, and your face in a tiny box. It's a bit of marketing speak on there that maybe I'll refine it. But I really wanted to get this in there somewhere, because I think it's a real for me, this is like the evolution of like, those things are great, but they're made for a completely different environment. And actually doing the webcam thing is still pretty early days and does still require a lot of OBS and OBS pain. So yeah, if anyone is on the beta, please, I would love to get some testimonials on here. I know John sent me one. I don't know, like maybe you want to wait until it's working or has come out, but I'm hoping to get some good testimonials on the website. And yeah, this sort of like end is where like I just need to decide what the end of the page looks like, because I've got like, I think pricing goes somewhere else. This was written by ChatGPT and I hate it. So I'm sort of like I'm sort of that's how far I am through the website. Long and short of it, had a really good day on it yesterday. So I think we're getting pretty clear on the message now of what this thing is for. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. This has been a long time. It's one of those things. I gave myself a bit more time, but I sort of felt I had all the tech already, so I didn't think it was going to take. I knew it was going to take a while, but it always takes longer than you think. And if you think, I'm going to take a bit longer, then it's going to take much longer. So this is what's happened, but I think it's going to be more than worth it. So what's up next? Let me just find my thing. Oh, on my radar. Now, while I've been working on this, the world has changed around me a bit. As I mentioned in the email, Apple has upgraded some operating systems and added some devices, and even though my code hasn't changed and it worked before, I've heard some reports coming in. So one thing that you will notice on iOS 17 is the selection tool in Video Pencil doesn't work properly anymore, and that is a freaking betrayal of an API on Apple's side. It's just a bug in their APIs that, like, if you're not using their tools, it just doesn't work anymore where it did before. So they've broken something. It's really annoying. But I have to fix it nevertheless. So I've got like a temporary workaround, but I just need to I need to make it think that it's using its tools, but I need to find a way of making, when it pops them up, to sort of put them where you can't see them, and then it will work. But that's something I need to find some time to figure out. I know what the problem is. I found other people with the same problem. Thanks, Apple. This is the life we live. There's been some issues with the NDI overlay transparency. I've had some reports where I don't know if this is NDI with the new Mac OS. I don't know if this is a temporary eCam Live problem, but something, I know eCam Live checks whether your feed has got an alpha channel in it, and then if it does, it sort of overlays it properly. But I'm noticing that sometimes it's not picking that up. I haven't managed to reproduce it on my machine, so I need to sort of figure out how to make it happen for me so I can fix it. But I am aware that that's going on for some people and can be causing problems. I've had some things with, I have actually got some quotes here. So like Video Pencil camera has got some issues on the latest Mac OS, and the shoot driver seems to be, I've had a couple of reports. So these are on my radar. I wish I didn't have to go back and fix stuff that already worked while I'm trying to get a new thing out, but I will. It might not be immediate, but just if you haven't updated yet, just maybe don't. Just maybe hold off. But just to say, I talked about the first couple of things, but so someone was saying it seems like a Mac app closes out anytime I click on it or change to another stream. So one person I've invited, that's Video Pencil camera. Hey, look, quotes. This is something I just added in today and I need to sort out. And then someone, after a while, the shoot camera on my iPad stops working in Zoom and it gets frozen. Is there any fix for this? So I'm aware of these. And then I'm noticing some performance weirdness on macOS. CueCam even is burning a lot more CPU with Sonoma. I think some of that is their new video processing layers. I don't know how much to expect them to fix this in the next couple of builds, or if I have to sort of readdress a load of performance issues that I thought I'd already solved. But again, that is the life. But I just thought I'd touch on why I don't mind Apple giving me all this extra work. because I have lived in Windows land, Windows development land, and I've lived in Linux development land, and I would characterize the way Apple approaches technology is, in order to get something new and better, you have to let the old stuff break. It's really, really hard to do both well. And so the reason we see such incredible stuff coming through on Apple's platforms is that they don't sweat backwards compatibility. And they just try and make the developers all keep their software fresh and building on the latest frameworks, which is a very different model to Windows, where they want everything to work forever. But as a result, they've got a completely stagnant app ecosystem. Their frameworks are very, it's all very old, all very arcane, and it's just Apple can literally rebuild their entire operating system, and that's a slightly separate thing, but Windows has got so much software built on all these little bugs and quirks for 2 generations, and it just makes it a bit crap. And simultaneously, I've also lived in Linux land, where this is how they create a new version of Ubuntu. I was there. They upgrade. So basically, Ubuntu is made of packages, millions of different packages. So you've got one for doing your video, one for doing loads of different packages for doing tiny things, but also for doing applications as well. So you just have this big list of packages on your system. What they do when they upgrade it, they just go, okay, get the latest versions of all the packages, and then try and then just claw through all of the problems that are caused by that, and just try and figure out what went wrong. So Ubuntu, from release to release, just got stuff would just break, completely change, be completely wrong. And as an app developer, you just could not build anything because there was no level above. So Ubuntu is Linux is package. If you want to build an app, which is also a package, you've got to sort of hope that this doesn't change, and hope that this doesn't change, and hope that this doesn't change, and hope that this doesn't change. And these are all different open source projects, and who knows what's going to happen to them. And they may be improved, but this can just break your app, because there is no standard abstraction above this sea of device drivers and codecs and all this sort of stuff. Mac OS goes, okay, Metal, that's your drawing. UI kit, that's how you do user interface. And then underneath, they're sort of taking care of all this stuff under the hood. But when I build an app now, when I build an app, I can sort of go, okay, Apple's frameworks are here. Right? As long as I build against those, and these might change a little bit between versions, Apple is taking care of how that talks to the underlying hardware, which is just not the case on Linux. So that's why I do prefer. I wish it wasn't this way, but at least there's a reason that I'm having. At least they've added something new. They've got these cool, hey, you can do this kind of thing now. Is that flickering weirdly? Yeah. They've added in something that lets you do something cool. And so, okay, right, fine, I'll rebuild and I'll make sure it works with that. And if I want to do a screen share with a cool automatic picture-in-picture, I kind of know why I'm being forced to update my code. So yeah, I think at the end of the day, the problem is you can't grow, you can't have change without a certain amount of letting stuff go. There is no you can't have something new without something. If you move to a better life, you lose some of the things that to another city for a better life, just as a random example, you're going to lose some of the comforts that you had in the old place, and it's going to take a while to rebuild those. You can't have a change without losing something. You can't have an improvement without losing something you used to have. And I think that Apple philosophically understand that, and I think that is just sort of the why it's okay that I get a headache every year around September, October when they ship their new operating system. I haven't had time to test thoroughly or even install Sonoma on my Mac Mini that I do have one to test it on, but I've been so busy on other stuff that I haven't even been able to look at it. Hopefully by this time next year I will have someone else in charge of that. Fingers crossed, touch wood. So yeah, that's why I don't mind. Thank you everyone for joining me today. I hope that's been interesting. I'm never quite sure. Like, all I know is I've got to turn up every week and talk about stuff. What I was going to, I did like mention I don't know if this could be a lab where we do actually, you come to me with a problem and I look at it, but it feels like it is more of a presentation. Like relying on audience participation does make this thing quite unpredictable. So it is a presentation, so that just means I end up talking a lot about what I'm doing and the challenges I'm facing. But what I do want to change, I do want to start thinking about what is the perspective of a teacher coming to this, and can I just take you through the pitfalls of that, and you actually only need this, this and this. What is the perspective of a salesperson coming into this? What is this, the perspective of an app developer that wants to make a good product demo? Like that, it's very hard to do that when I'm sort of so close to the metal, writing the code. But please, if you've got questions while I'm not live, Discord, come and join. We've had quite a few new members. The mailing list is nearly at 5,000 people now as well. So that's kind of a milestone. I started it about 2 years ago, and it's going all right. Hopefully by next year it'll be even more. But yeah, and then the Discord I think is up to, I don't know, a couple of hundred, maybe not that many. But yeah, so there's people on there that may be able to help you with stuff when I'm not there. So with that, thank you everyone for coming by. I really appreciate your attention. I love attention, even when it's a bit of a grind to turn up every week, having no clue what I'm going to talk about, trying to pull something together, and a thumbnail. By the way, I got so sick of wired headphones that I'm just going to make you deal with this weird thing in my ear. Because I like to be able to walk around the room while I'm connected. And I bought some cheap wireless headphones and they were rubbish, so I got my Sennheiser in. So there we go. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Hopefully see you in the Discord. Hope you're having a lovely week. Hopefully I'll have a build of Beat Sheet Studio out for you all to try in the next couple of days. Thank you for coming by.